to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Here we go. Ohio.
Now Taylor. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 23 yards on the play. So after that big play, let's see if they can now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Here we go.
This is Gillisley. He finds some open field here. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Mike Gillisley, 28 yards. And the Bills have retaken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Right, looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Cardinals offense here ready to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive lineman.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Here's Palmer to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. On first down, it's Taylor. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3.
Come on, let's go. 1-0.
From the gun, it's Taylor. He's got time in the pocket. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will be from 56 yards out. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Again, we'll see the pistol here. So after the interception, here's Palmer. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Let's go.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this season and try and get back to the playoffs where they've been perennials. How about Denver?
Yeah.
Remember last year, they didn't have the quarterback to start. Trevor Siemian played pretty well overall, but maybe they can get solidified there and ride that strong defense right back into the playoffs. I'm going to give you a little bit off the pace. Indianapolis cannot afford to squander Andrew Luck, one of the better young quarterbacks in the game. They've got to get back to the playoffs. And Buffalo, brand new head coach, brand new people running the ball club. Let's see if they can figure it out, because I think defensively they can be awfully strong.
And this is caught by Watkins. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
2nd and 10, it's Taylor again. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Charles Clay is tight in the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Corey Peters in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Here's Colton Schmidt now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
There's so many things that go into playing the position of linebacker. Some of them are actually subtle. Doing the drill work that you do all the time in practice and carrying it over to the game. Get rid of blockers and get to the ball carrier and knock him down for a loss.
Get ready. Blue 58.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. Fitzgerald's got it right side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Get ready. Blue 58. Blue 19. Get ready. Blue 18.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Palmer will throw, buying time to his left. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Man open right side, it's the tight end play. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now it looks like we got the big tight end still down after the last play. Well, you can bet that they would hate to be without his services. On second down, Taylor. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Third and 2, now Taylor. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now it's Palmer. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow. A 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
So the D-line's going to spread out. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. In motion left, Fitzgerald. On second down, Palmer. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And quickly, they get to the line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Shaq Lawson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Another pistol look here.
Get ready. Blue 58. Blue 58.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to have the football back as the third quarter comes to an end. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll run with Gillisley. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. Tyvon Branch there to bring him down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On second down, here's Taylor. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And he's brought down. It's a gain of 20 that time. And the Bills are going to have a first down.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? 5 defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
Yeah, we saw that advantage right there. They stay on the ground. This is Gillisley again. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
Now Taylor to throw on second down. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, He's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Here we go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
Let's go. Brad 38. Brad 34. Ohio.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Muscles him off. And this play gets blown. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Forget it. I'm not going to criticize the play call. I'm just going to praise the defense. That was a spot where they could have very easily just folded up and said, they've got us on the run. We're going to give up a touchdown here. No. They've stiffened, bowed up on that one, handled their keys and everything else. And now the field goal is no longer a gimme. And we've seen, remember Blair Walsh with the Vikings in the playoffs against Seattle? That was a gimme, wasn't it? And he ended up missing it. In this case now, they have some thinking to do.
Come on, let's go.
And here we go on 1st and goal. And they'll run it here. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think got to be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They come out here in the I. They'll try to run it in with Gillisley. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And now here's Ross. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills are victorious as we say so long from Buffalo.